Coming up today on Locked On Texas Tech, bonus edition. A 5-star intends to hit the transfer portal.
You are Locked On Texas Tech, your daily podcast on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Great to be with you again on Locked On Texas Tech on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, always free and available on YouTube or anywhere you get podcasts. And today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. New customers can place a $5 bet. You're going to get started with $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet hits. So visit FanDuel.com to get started. Back with the only Chris Level again for a reaction episode. Chris, I enjoy my time with you, but we're saturating the market today. So I don't know, will this be our final conversation of the day or not? We spent time talking with you about a change made at defensive coordinator for Texas Tech. And now you have, this wouldn't always get this level of attention, I don't think, but now you have some intentions made clear as it relates to a portal entry. And this is a significant one because it is your heralded recruit, your freshman wide receiver, the 5-star Micah Hudson, who apparently intends to hit the portal. So I want to get into some of the context with you, Chris, not only regarding how it came to be, but what type of portal entry this is, because they do come in a variety, I think, as far as what to expect from a fan standpoint after somebody declares that they do intend to be portal bound. And also just the surprise scale, so to speak. Is this recent development that is going to be catching folks off guard internally? It's a long time coming. How did we get here, man? What's the reaction to this news?
Oh, how did we get here? How much time you got? And I don't want to spend all that time. Yeah, I've probably fielded no less than 1,000 questions about Micah Hudson over the last 3 to 4 months. And I'm probably only slightly exaggerating. So we have talked about this player on this show at various times. I've done some speaking engagements at times, and there were I can only go off of what I knew at the time, and there were absolutely times where I thought not leaving. Don't listen to this or that. I think because I'll try to be succinct in most of what I say, but I think for the first portion of the season, I think everything was okay. I think that, really Micah's been kind of injured or slightly hampered or rehabbing or whatever since he got here. He missed all of spring. He missed some of the summer and then kind of worked his way back in August. I think if they had it to do over again, maybe they wouldn't have trained him at a variety of different, but he's a 5-star. He's this or that, and you want to, show him the respect and train him for multiple spots and treat him like he's the next Josh Kelly and you can move him inside and outside and all that. And I think he kind of got bogged down a bit into that before they ultimately moved him to the outside and left him there, which is, I think they felt like, okay, this will help, and then you saw them, just use him in a handful of plays and all that. And we saw him make a big time one-handed catch. You saw him with the drop. And I think that's just kind of right now, that was the true freshman that Micah Hudson was. But this is a lot of questions and a lot of chatter about a 5-star player that caught 8 catches or had 8 receptions this year. I certainly understand that, but this was going to be different. This was Texas Tech's chance to have one of these guys that you just can't miss. And for whatever reason, and so we're clear, this is all the reporting out there is his intention to enter the portal. The portal is not even open yet. It doesn't open up for another week. I think that I guess at this point, because I've been telling you these things as we've recorded and not recorded, and just all the while hearing he's going in, hearing okay that they maybe not going in, and I think you can verify that. I think I've probably changed to you in the last 24 hours multiple times.
It seemed like a developing situation.
Oh yeah. So to answer the question about surprise scale, I don't think anybody internally is surprised at all. I think
really.
Yeah, I don't. I think that he kind of had been distant, maybe 2 to 4 weeks ago ish. Really, at about the time when he got hurt. He had a boot on during the Colorado game. I think there was some concern with a potential stress fracture that Joey had talked about, and they just weren't going to put him in harm's way. They were trying to make sure he was right before they put him back out there. I think Joey even said, on his last coach's show, I guess it was, that he's like, hey, if for whatever reason Josh didn't play in the bowl game, we think Micah could, would potentially start in that game. And so kind of that's what we had even talked about on these shows. And so, I think the plan was he would have likely started next year with Coy Aiken and Caleb Douglas, whatever that would have looked like on as the inside or outside or whatever. But I guess my question would be, I just don't, because he was a Mahomes brand ambassador. He just had an NIL deal with, I think, Big Chicken in town, which was a local business that just opened up. I think NIL was not a problem. He'd probably been playing.
Don't tell me that Big Chicken money went to his head.
He'd probably been playing more than everybody internally, because I think people will tell you Tyson Turner is phenomenal. Kelby Valson has just not taken some of these reps now, and some people feel like he should have been playing all along. But you're trying to do various things. You're trying to keep people happy, and then all the while everybody's telling you run the damn ball, including us. There's a lot going on, a lot to manage, a lot of ego, a lot of mouths to feed, all the stuff, right? So, but it just I had somebody at the game yesterday tell me that, man, I didn't realize Micah was rooming with Jalen Peoples, which I didn't know. And Jalen's been frustrated for 2 months since he got, kind of got taken out of the mix earlier on in the season. I wonder if that had anything to do with this. I don't know. I had somebody else walk up to me and go, dude, is he really going to LSU? I'm like, so yeah, who knows? I think everybody here will take the high road, wish him well. I would say that Cowan, if he does enter the portal and does depart, you will go try to find another Josh Kelly or Caleb Douglas, and then away you go. That's what you will do. And I think you can look at it and go, it worked for those two guys. We picked correctly. They produced big time. Who wants to be next? And then you've got younger kids that are on your team that are ready to kind of emerge and everything, that have been sitting on your campus, that you're going to sign some wideouts this week as far as National Signing Day. The optics of this is what's Texas Tech, people will point and laugh or point and criticize or point, and that's just the world that we all live in now. I would love to know what he didn't get, or what he doesn't have here, or what wasn't going to be afforded to him, or whatever, and that he's not, that he's seeking elsewhere. I don't believe it was money. I don't believe it was playing time. I don't believe it was style of offense. I don't believe any of that. But only he can answer that. But he's obviously, if he does intend to get into the portal, there's something here that he's not a part of, or that he's looking at something else. Maybe he wants to play in a different league. Maybe he wants to play closer to home. I have no idea. But there was a lot of people that worked really hard on getting him here, and it for whatever reason, it just didn't work.
So is it something that's soured to the point where it sounds like you're saying the context of his entry? First, today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. Get ready to tackle all the action with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. And right now, new customers can bet only $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL and a whole lot more,
all in one place. So when you get a hunch, a gut instinct in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more, all on the same page where you place your bet. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today, and you'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a gut feeling again, and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
Sounds like you're saying the context of his entry is if he's in, he's gone. It's not necessarily one of those like, oh, Tech could still be in the picture.
And I wouldn't rule that out. I would not. I don't want to close any doors here. I think I would offer this up. I think when you make a public display like this and you tell everybody this is my intent, I think there would be, because I've already seen teammates tweeting like, hey man, good luck, go be great, all that stuff. This is just part of the world we live in now. And some take it personal. Others say this is all transactional. Find me somebody else, all that stuff. Right. I would wonder, like, internally, could all the because if you're here, you've got not one, but two really good quarterbacks. You think right now you're going to play in a wide open offense that obviously gets receivers yards and catches based on what we have just seen. With a 1,000-yard receiver, and obviously Coy and Caleb did really, really well there. And people would always criticize, why isn't he playing more? Like, man, are you not watching the other three dudes? Like, who do you want off the field? And I don't know, but I think as we've talked about, I don't think really at times when after these losses or whatever, receiver not your problem, so. But again, everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's frustrated. Everybody doesn't want to, just think that you feel a bit vulnerable when something like this happens, and you feel like, oh, geez, what did we screw up, kind of thing, But only Micah can answer that. But I mean, when Mahomes is involved, the highest level of donors involved, he's playing as a true freshman. He was hurt a lot of the time. He missed the entire spring, some of fall camp. You tried to say, hey, man, let's teach you these receiver spots. We want to use you. Let's go. And then I think he got bogged down a bit. But and he's been out and unavailable and been on the injury list for the last – is it like the last – I guess really he hasn't played since before the Iowa State game. I think that was the first time he was not on a trip and didn't play, and he's been hurt since with a boot on his foot, all that. And I will tell you, against the West Virginia Mountaineers, I had noticed him at the Colorado game. I did not see him at the West Virginia game at all. I saw a lot of other injured guys on the sideline. Justin Horn was there. Joseph Adedire was there. Trey Jackson was there. I mean, there are all these guys walking around on crutches or, whatever it may be. I did not see Micah Hudson there. Can't say that he was or wasn't. I just did not see him, and that's probably a tell too. So also didn't see Jalen Peoples there. As I heard when somebody's asking about him rooming, I was like, yeah, I guess Jalen Peoples isn't here either that I saw. So anyway, I don't know what else to offer up, but it sucks if he leaves, but you go, that's what the portal is there for. It taketh, it giveth, you got to play it both ways. Everybody thought, oh no, Miles Price is leaving. Jerron Bradley's leaving. Loic Fungi's leaving. Nehemiah Martinez is leaving. Jaden York is leaving. I'm sure I'm forgetting others, but what are we going to do? Well, you did pretty good this year, so we'll see, man. I hate
this one's singular as far as the attention goes because obviously he's a 5-star.
Yeah, and I get that.
It was a high-profile
sure.
get. Do you think any of the frustration was reciprocated maybe from the locker room? What type of presence was he, either within the group of wide receivers or the locker room at large? Is there chemistry issues or disgruntlement on that end?
Man, I would have no idea. I think it's fair to wonder aloud. Okay, this is a very fair question. With a bunch of guys that are redshirted, a bunch of guys that whatever, like, man, this dude isn't, why is he getting all this early? Why is he getting – because it's not like when he showed up, he just lit it up. I think that, everybody would because I remember back even in fall camp – they were talking about, Barron like having to get on him and like coach him up hard and like get in his face and like kind of like be like, dude, no, unacceptable. Got to do this better. So, and I only offer that up to say, he clearly wasn't like just hitting the ground running and being perfect with everything he was doing and all that, but clearly very talented. Okay, there's no doubt.
Like it, but we don't, is it a screw up? We don't know yet. And to what extent, if it was a screw up, is it in that kind of category? I don't know, because it's hard to miss something you haven't had. And so he was,
that's what I would say.
From his recruiting profile, 2024, he was forgettable. Not to put anything on him like that's negative. I didn't expect a whole lot, but I know that some of what the head coach said prior to the season, he's generational, immediate impact, things like that. Fans were already wondering, okay, well, where is the guy that he's describing early on in the year? But it's very difficult to know what you're missing when you haven't really seen it yet. And just for my 2 cents worth as a football fan, wide receiver is a lower ranked position as far as what I feel like impacts what it takes to win football games consistently. And we've learned that, I feel like, as Tech fans up close.
If he was a lineman on either side and like an all-world guy, I'd probably be in the fetal position going, please, no, Yeah,
you'd be a little more impacted, I feel like.
But receiver, honestly, is one of the easiest positions to go get in the portal. That's one of the easiest ones to go get. Not that you're guaranteed to go get a phenomenal one or even a good one. But you can go get those. It's the linemen that are the hardest to get because there's fewer out there. There's a lot more receivers out there. Like Colorado, they basically pull a receiver from when Deion comes from Jackson State. One of their other guys is from FIU, I guess it was, or FAU, one of the two. So there's a lot of good receivers out there. And I'm not trying to diminish his potential departure here at all. I just look at it from the way you build a team. And if, to your point, if he's, you're not going to miss what you didn't really have. And receiver right now, not your problem. Like I said, if he played left tackle or D tackle or was an edge guy and he was going like, peace out, I'd be like, damn, this sucks, but he doesn't.
I mean, it's not a good end result. Obviously, you want it to work out between the two parties when they get together, but apparently will not. I mean, we're still going to
I'd be upset if Jacoby Williams was leaving. I can tell you that, too. I would say that.
I'm going to have to remain a bit on the edge of my seat because you've seen some of these things as far as intention stories.
Sure.
Otherwise, that then never even develop into entry. So God only knows what ways it could turn. But as for now, some expectation that he's going to be in the transfer portal when that opportunity comes. So appreciate a little extra time here today, Chris, to run this down as this is happening. So enjoyed it as much as possible because I just enjoy visiting with you about anything regarding Texas Tech football. But
our pets' heads, our pets' heads are not falling off. Everything will be fine. But it's been a newsy, and we kind of you just wondered what was around the corner. I'm sure there's more to come, but we shall see. It's again head on a swivel season, so
that's right.
We'll see how this plays out. But at this point, I guess I would expect him to go ahead and enter said portal. But we shall see. So there you go, man.
Look, I don't tell you to get subscribed on YouTube or anywhere you get podcasts, so you never miss a thing for my health. You never want to miss a thing, so get subscribed on YouTube or anywhere you get podcasts. Chris, thanks for the time, man. We'll see you for the next one.
I appreciate you, Cowan. You're a 5-star in my book, and I know you're not going to the portal. And for that, I appreciate it. So
you bet. Let's talk contract after we get off of the air. I appreciate it.
Big Chicken will come calling for you, man.
Chicken money, baby.
That's right. You got it.
Buck. All right. Appreciate you guys for being out there. Thanks to the everydayers, maybe even 3 times a day or every once in a while. Appreciate you being out there, and we hope to see you back for the next round on Locked On Texas Tech.